Hello, everybody. Today, I have a different idea. I'm not going to have a guest today. I've been taking a few YouTube growth classes, and as I take these classes, I'm learning so many things, but I'm really starting to understand the opportunity of YouTube very late in the game too. I'll be honest. I definitely didn't see it as what I see it for now, especially after this pandemic, right? I always kind of thought, yeah, it's a way of making money, but you got to get so many views. It doesn't make sense to just focus on YouTube. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm taking these classes and I've been working on this show and I'm working on another show. I really see an opportunity that I think entrepreneurs should be looking at. So I'm going to try to go on Instagram Live too. Um, but let me get out of here. Let's get out of here. All right. So basically, YouTube, what I believe YouTube is not a social media platform. It's not. It's basically, I don't know where you grew up, but I grew up in New York City, and there was this thing called public access, right? Public access was like if you lived in a certain borough, you got shows, and people had to try to get into doing those shows, and they had to come up with content as often as they wanted to. And depending on where you were in the city, you had specific shows. So if you met somebody in Brooklyn and you talked about your public access TV, it was different than Bronx and Brooklyn's public access was different. Manhattan and Brooklyn and Bronx was different. So everybody had their own public access, and then people will put on shows. What I see YouTube as is like the evolution of that times a billion. So now instead of public access where you can just see the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, you can see this, and it's not only here. You can see it anywhere in the world. You can literally watch this in Colombia, in France, in Europe, anywhere, right? And not only at that specific time of the day, you can watch it forever. So what with public access, you literally had to be there at that time and watch the show that somebody created, sometimes live. They were creating it live at the studio. But now this video right here that I'm creating will be around forever. Forever. It will come up on search engines. It'll come up forever. YouTube is not going away, right? So why is that such a big opportunity for business? I kind of gave up one of the major reasons. It's because YouTube is forever and it's a search engine. So if you use YouTube the right way, you could draw in audience to your business, to your personal brand, to all the different ways you make money. The big hurdle people have is they don't feel comfortable on camera. And I'm not going to lie, it took me a while to be able to do this. Like, for instance, today I am jumping on here without a full plan. But I'm comfortable now on camera enough with what I know enough where I say, look, I'll get on and I'll figure it out. I have some idea of what I'm going to talk about. I'm not like planning out shot by shot, what am I going to do? I'm basically coming on and making it go of it. So I'm trying to get on YouTube on Instagram Live to draw anybody in from there. So my idea is today, for the show today, is I want to start talking about what I'm learning in these classes and give people opportunity to learn with me, and I'm gonna go into what I'm learning, like by the book, basically. So I'm gonna start basically doing my YouTube growth homework with you, so you could be learning alongside me, because one of the best ways to learn something is to teach it. So I'm gonna start teaching what I'm learning already while I'm learning it, right? So first step to creating a YouTube channel is to understand what is the purpose of your channel. So that can be a little bit difficult, right? Because, okay, why am I saying this when it comes to business? Because the point of my channel is to create revenue streams for me. as an individual, what that means is everything I do, every partnership I have, any nonprofit I'm involved in, I want to try to create revenue streams to them through my channel. My channel is created so I can show people what I do. But it all starts and it stems from my why. Like, what am I doing every day? Why do I do what I do every day? Right? I'm doing what I do every day because I want to help as many people as possible make their ideas happen. So everything I've done, even the name Mass Ideation, which was my company, it basically means creating ideas for as many people as possible and making them happen, right? Because ideation is normally the process of thinking, but my company was a production company. We were making ideas. Like people will come to us with ideas, and I'm still doing that now. People come to us with ideas and we make them happen. So I started out as a production company that did that for brands, agencies, startups, nonprofits. And then I realized, okay, I can't help everybody though. There was a lot of people coming to me, and the budgets weren't big enough for me to put a team on it, and I couldn't put my own personal time in it because I was growing my business that had a different target audience. So I started to say, okay, how can I make this work for not just me, Like, what if I said, what if I was on the other side of this and I didn't have enough to have a mass ideation work on my project? What could I do to make my idea happen? So I started to really look at that many years ago. I started to look at, okay, how could I give small businesses some of what I do? Because back then I was doing like high tech stuff that was very expensive, like augmented reality, virtual reality, games, mobile apps. And these things were super expensive because at the time they were really new, and the people that I needed to employ to make them were expensive. So I had to charge more than what it cost me, right? That's just business 101. So I said, how can I give people this information or this access in a way that doesn't cost them as much? So now I'm coming back to that idea and saying, okay, I'm learning a lot of things about startups, about how to build things, how to fund things, how to make things happen in different ways. How can I give this information to people and allow them to make their ideas happen without even talking to them at all through this medium? So what I figured out is YouTube is the best way to do that. Why is that? Because, like I said, YouTube is a search engine. So right now, if you wanted to know how to create a YouTube channel within a business mindset, you can't search that on Instagram. You can't search that on Instagram. You can't search that on Facebook, really. You have to put in the term of a description of a video of a like description of a video. You know what I mean? Not a description of a channel or a business. So what, Kurt, what's up? Bronx Innovation, what's up? So basically what I'm looking at is I'm trying to figure out why people are not using YouTube as much as they should. And even me, I just got into the YouTube game because I realized YouTube is forever. You put something on YouTube and YouTube is going to be there forever, and people can search it and find it, versus Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok is the new hot shit. But you can't search and find something on those things. You're going to luckily come across them. Where YouTube, Google owns YouTube. What does that mean? If you are going to search something, it's going to pull up YouTube videos over TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. So if you have a business and you're not creating content that you're putting on YouTube, you are doing a disservice to your business. Your business can be doing a lot more, be seen by a lot more people if you create a YouTube channel and you're talking about the things that will draw people in that will normally buy from your business. So I'm going to start doing my YouTube homework. So if you guys just came in, I've been doing multiple YouTube classes on how to grow your YouTube channel. I just started a YouTube channel for myself. I had one for mass ideation for many years, didn't use it right, but I decided to make one for myself as a personal brand because I'm involved in so many different things. So as a business owner, though, I believe you need to be creating a YouTube channel. So the first step is, why are you creating this YouTube channel? I just told you mine. My goal is to create as many first revenue streams for myself. So by creating this channel, I'm going to draw people into the different ways I make money, right? So right now I'm focusing mostly on people making their ideas because people hire my company and me to make ideas, right? So if you have an idea, you get it to a certain point, you're going to need someone to build that idea. My company does that. I do that. So why not create content around getting you to the point where you need me, right? Or somebody like me. So that's my idea. That's the first reason why I do it. Second reason why I do it is because I wish this content existed when I was figuring this shit out, right? And if I can't find it, that means it doesn't exist. If I search it on Google and I can't find it, that means it doesn't exist. And when you come from communities of color like I do, information is hidden from us. And now that I have it, I feel like I should be giving it to people for free as much as possible. So by creating these videos, I am giving away that information that I'm lucky enough to have learned. So my purpose of my YouTube channel is to create as many people that can create their own idea, right? They can make their idea happen. That's the overall, including me. So even right now, I'm taking these YouTube courses and I'm regurgitating their information on my own channel. And you may never take the YouTube course that I just paid for. You getting it for free, but you may never do it, right? For me, though, there's one person out of every 1,000 that will do it. So I'll put it up, and hopefully over time, years and years and years, I'll get a few people that actually do it. So first step, what's the purpose of your channel? Make sure you understand that. Then the second thing is, what are your reasons for having a channel? So my reason, I went into them, a few of them. I want to draw traffic into people so people know what I do and either partner with me or hire me. Core, basically. I want the information to be out there where if you can do it on your own, you do it. But I feel like that's not normally the way things are for us. So like I'm involved in meetings that most people don't get to be in. I'm involved in meetings about venture capital, about cooperatives, about all kind of different things that most people don't get to be in. So if I can take that information and bring it to you here, that should draw some value. That should give some value to people. So on this homework, I need to create 5 reasons why I have a channel. So let's say first reason, personal branding. I want to do as much personal branding as possible because personal branding allows you to have the most freedom in your business career. Why is that? So personal branding allows you to do more speaking, create books, create courses, and that creates revenue that doesn't need as much of your time. And if you get it to a level, a high enough level, it can fund your whole life. And you just do that. You get paid to travel, get paid to speak, get paid by courses, get paid consulting, high level consulting. So that's my number 1 reason. Personal branding. Number 2, there's information that I wish I had before. Much low. I'm 40 years old, 41. I stopped counting after 25, but I'm 41 and I wish I had this information much earlier in my career. I think my whole career would have been different. But it's all good. I'm here now. The third reason I say is I want to help as many people create their idea, right? So I'm going to give you all the stuff I know for free on this. And it's going to come in different forms, but then I'm going to eventually make classes and courses. I'm definitely going to do all that. But right now it's going to be out there free. If you watch other videos, you'll have the information. If you need more structure and more hand holding, I'm going to create a course area. So if you're watching, I have 2 ideas, myideas.academy or myidea.academy. I need a vote. If you like my ideas with an S, let me know. Or if you like my idea, let me know, because I'm going to build a whole online class around that. So this will be part of it, how to create your own YouTube. The fourth reason is I believe YouTube is forever. And I think by creating this content, maybe my kids one day want to create a company. And maybe I'm dead, fucked up, but this is how it works, right? They can watch this and they can say, all right, dad gave me the blueprint. All we got to do is this, this, and that. And not just my sons, other people's kids, other people, period. I want to have that information out there in an easy to find way so people can do it. Fifth reason. I don't know the fifth. Oh, to make money, of course, right? Like, of course, I think I may have said that already, but whatever. Yeah, I did say that. I maybe have to work on the fifth one a little bit more. So another reason I've been thinking about with YouTube is just different than any other platform. They call it social media, but in a way, YouTube is different. YouTube is like television. It's like having your own television channel forever that people can watch anytime. All your shows. That's like, if you really think about that, that's powerful. Like as a business owner to say you have infomercials that are available to be created all day, every day, forever, and to be consumed all day and forever, that would draw people to your business for free. When has that been possible? Like, that's just not possible. YouTube has been around for a long time, but when Google bought it, that's when the shift, I believe, started to happen, where businesses make a lot more sense for businesses to be on YouTube. So if you're a business owner and you have any questions, definitely ask. But what I'm looking at is, what is stopping you from making your own YouTube channel, either as a personal brand or as a company? As a company, I have Mass Ideation's YouTube channel. I just put up our work. I have our work up on there. I haven't really figured out how to use my Mass Ideation channel, because I'm really changing Mass Ideation at the same time as well, right? Like all of us post-COVID have to figure out a different way of doing our business. If you're not looking at how you evolve after COVID, you're probably gonna go out of business after COVID, right? So I'm looking at Mass Ideation and saying, how do I evolve it? It's a high-level consultancy agency. Do I make it a co-op? That's one idea. Do I make it a startup studio? Do I make it a co-op that is a startup studio? Those are all ideas that I'm figuring out right now. But while I figure it out, my personal brand exists. I'm doing things. I'm working on projects. I'm starting companies. I'm helping startups. So why not use that as content to draw people in that may help those startups, may help me make money in these tough times, right? And it has worked like ridiculously well already, just of creating a show that I go on every weekday for, this is my 26th show. I have had so much attention business-wise come to me that now I'm kind of stressed out about figuring out what I should be actually choosing to do. So a YouTube channel allows that. So all this content I'm talking about lives on YouTube, and it's going to be on YouTube forever. I have 26 videos interviewing different people that have made their idea happen, that if you were interested, you could just go and watch and learn all the lessons we have learned just by watching a video. You know, not all of them, but a lot of them. So have a channel but needs a redo. All right, so Lincoln Heritage Group, you have a channel, but it needs a redo. So you're in my same position as Mass Ideation. My Mass Ideation channel needs a redo too, right? I got to figure out what it is. Of course, I'll put up all the work. That's a given. But how do I draw more people into my Mass Ideation channel so I get more Mass Ideation work? But for me, I'm slowing down on that because I'm trying to figure out what the next version of Mass Ideation is to draw in traffic based on that. If you already know what your business is, the key to do, what you first need to do is figure out, why would somebody watch a video on my channel? Why watch a video on this channel? What is it going to be about? What value do they get out of it? Where it's not just about buy my product. It's about, how can I give you value so you look at me as a trusted resource, where when you need to do what you're going to have to eventually pay someone to do, you say, I've been watching Miguel for 6 months, giving me all this information. And I see on his channel, he builds this stuff all the time for big brands. Why not hire Miguel? Oh, Charisma, what's up? How are you? You got to be on my show. I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna send you the link. You got to be on my show. Charisma is a very charismatic entrepreneur. She's a hustler. Um, she'll be on my show, so I won't give away too much of her. Koala Vision, that's my guy. You got to be on my show too, man. Koala Vision is partly the reason, and I'll give you a lot of credit for the reason I do this right now. Koala Vision, his real name is Jeff. I don't care. I'm going to give you a government. I won't give you a last name. Koala Vision, when I was 20 years old, there was another down economy like right now, and there was very little work. So I had a friend who told me, look, Children's Aid Society is paying $30 an hour for people to teach kids web development. So I was like, I stopped listening after $30 an hour. Let's go. So I was like 20 years old. There was hardly any work. I was freelancing, but I could freelance at any time. So he was like, look, come by and teach these kids web development. Jeff was the only kid that paid attention in that class. So again, what am I doing right now? On my YouTube channel, on my Instagram, everywhere this is, I'm telling you a story about my history that may make my brand a little bit more strong, right? I've been doing this for a long time. When I was 20 years old, I'm 41. I was teaching kids web development he was in Washington Heights. I'm from the Bronx. I would go to Washington Heights, teach a class of maybe 30 kids web development when all they wanted to do was download music on LimeWire. You were one of them, but you definitely listened, and you now work for Apple, right? And I'll take some credit of that, but I'll give you a lot of the credit because you listened. A lot of those kids didn't. So now I'm telling a story on my YouTube. I'm going to cut this piece out and I'm going to post it on social media later, right? So if you have a business, the business comes from a person at first. And what most people don't understand, it took me a long time to do this, and I tell this story a lot. I used to hide behind the mass ideation logo. I didn't want people to know I was behind the business because in tech, minorities in tech were not a thing. So I didn't really believe people would believe that I could do what I did. So I said, let me just hide behind the logo. And when they come meet me, I'll come with a team so they know that it's not just me. And it was mostly me, and I would get good people, right? So once I realized you have to be the face of your business, it helps a lot. You were my mentor, of course. Take that credit. Thank you, Jeff. I'm going to have you on the show. And keep doing what you're doing, man. You're killing it. You're making me proud. So telling your story and then putting it into context helps your business, right? So I've been involved in technology for 20 years. I've been teaching web development forever. So of course I can make a website. That's nothing for me and my team. So if you felt like you needed a website and you trusted me, you would come to me for a website, right? So, but most people watching this may not have known any of that, but now it's on YouTube forever, right? Forever. And if I didn't have a YouTube channel, it wouldn't be. Only me and Jeff would know that, and the kids that were in the class, and my friend that got me that job. So right now, I'm in a position where I'm realizing I wish I would have done this earlier, right? Imagine I have so many crazy stories, so many people I've worked with that went on to do amazing things that if I had them on an interview right now, it would blow your mind. Like I've literally worked with huge artists, huge politicians, huge business people, and we're friends. We'll text and have cool conversations, but you don't know that. And if you knew that, it would give me more credibility. So I think as a business person, you're in that same exact scenario. Exact. It may be in your whatever industry you choose to be in. So let's say you are Charisma. I remember I met Charisma. I'm going to give you a little bit of a background. I met Charisma. Charisma was the ultimate hustler. We were in a shared office environment, and I had mass ideation there. I had like 5 or 6 desks, and I had people coming in. We're working on a bunch of projects. Charisma came to see the space one day. I think she was selling something, and she saw an opportunity. I don't want to go all the way into your story because you're going to be on my show. She was like, there's nothing around here, because we were deep in the Bronx, in Hunts Point. It was very little things to eat or drink. You had to literally go walk cross a highway and risk your life to get to a store in the easiest route. So she said, you know what? I'm going to set up a table here where I give people food and drinks. And she did. And she came and she got the space. She did it. And we were all buying stuff from Charisma. And she got cool with all of us. And it was an awesome experience. And that was the hustle that she showed. And now we still know each other, right? But Charisma's story is awesome. I wish Charisma would have a YouTube channel. I met Charisma one time. I was riding the train to a meeting, and I'm holding the pole, and Charisma is right here, and I didn't see. And she goes, Miguel. And I'm like, oh shit, Charisma, what's up? And she's like, how you been? She's telling me about her book. She's writing books, and I'm like, oh shit, that's so crazy. I need to write a book. You got to help me. And all that is part of the journey of being an entrepreneur, man. It's an awesome journey. It's the highs are high, the lows are lows, but you just got to figure out how to be, stable through it as a leader, because there's been times where I've been so stressed and my team can't know it. But this is where having a channel where I could talk about those stories and then give value is where I believe as a business owner, that's the place to start. Start with your battle scars, your stories, right? So my battle scars, I haven't even started. Where I started from, and after watching and doing this YouTube class, my battle scars, I haven't started with those. I started out with, what can I give value? How can I teach more people like what I did with Jeffrey? How can I teach more people the things that I think they need to know in this coming future economy where right now we're all seeing this situation? If you can't work right now because you can't work from your house, you're realizing the future of work is behind a computer doing technology. Right now, I've worked probably harder than I've ever worked during this quarantine because I was kind of prepared for it in a way. We were working on a bunch of things. I do remote. I could work from anywhere in the world at any time because that's how my business was built, right? So right now, if you work somewhere and you can't get to that place, you have to be thinking like an entrepreneur. What can I do right now to make money? And YouTube, I'll be honest, YouTube is not an easy, you're going to create it and tomorrow you get 1 million views. But if you create a video a week, a video every 2 weeks, you look up in 2 years and you have all this content drawing people to you to hire you for whatever it is you do. So as a business, right? So I'm going to go back to the homework of this class. So what are your 5 reasons? So the first thing is, what is your purpose for this YouTube channel? Second thing is, what are the 5 reasons for having a YouTube channel? So for me, I'm talking in the space of a personal brand, and I'm talking in the space of a business, multiple businesses, right? I got multiple businesses, and I got nonprofit too. So I got to think about why create content for all those, but everybody drawn into it, into my personal, I'll pass them along to wherever I think makes most sense. So if you come to one of my videos and you're interested in a nonprofit space, I'll tell you, go to metabronx.com or Metabronx is, we have a Metabronx show called, I haven't done it in a while, the Bronx Tech Show. So that's the Metabronx show where we interview technology people. So first step, why have a channel? Second step, wait. First step, what is the purpose of your channel? Second step, what are 5 reasons to have a channel? Third step, define what a winning channel looks like to you. So a winning channel means, what is the result of your channel that makes you look at it and say, this worked? For me, I'm doing my homework. For me, it means I have a place where people can come to and learn about everything I do and work with me in any aspect they desire, right? So if you come to me and you're like, you come to my channel because I made a video that shows you how to create a YouTube. And then you say, all right, I kind of don't understand XYZ. I can send you to my online course. Hopefully most of it is free. I'll figure out how to do that. But you go and you get the course and you can get further into it. And then you realize, okay, I need a website. I need an app. And then you see more of my content where I show you how to build an app, show you how to build a website for the cheapest way, all on your own. But when you get to a certain level, you may need a pro, and you can come to me or you can come to someone else. So that to me is an ideal win. If you can come to my channel, understand what I do, because I literally have family members. My kids don't even fully understand what I do. I do a lot of different things, so it's very hard for anyone to fully understand what I do, you know? And a lot of times when someone asks me, it's like, I try to answer them based on what I believe will benefit them, because even me, I struggle to figure out how to explain what I do. So somebody put an image. When is your next show? I do a show every day at 11 a.m. Charisma. I'm going to send you the link so you could pick a day to be on the show. So the third step is define what a winning channel looks like. For me, a winning channel, I don't even care if it's making money on ads. If it's drawing in potential consulting gigs, that's a win, because a consulting gig is the biggest money I get. A consulting gig can be for a website, an app, a game. Just you want to pick my brain and pay me for that, which is awesome. All right. So the next part of the class is you have to ask the 5 questions to help determine your target audience. So target audience, if you don't know what that means, if you're in business, you don't know what that means. But if you are trying to figure out how to start a business, target audience means when you start a business, you can't say this business is for everybody. That's a bad way to look at it. You have to say this targets a specific type of person. Ideally, you pick 3 personas. A persona is a person, someone you can see in a mall, see walking down the street. So if you say my business is for everybody, it's hard to boil the ocean, as they say, right? So if you say my business is for Latin women aged 27 to 35, it's much easier to target that demographic and see growth from that business. If you say it's for everybody, it's not going to work, because it's hard to target everybody. How do you get everybody from day one? Unless you got $1 billion and you can advertise to everybody, it's very hard to do that. So you want to pick a target audience. So for me, and I haven't thought about this until I look at this PDF. So I'm going to be figuring it out with you right now. I would say, if I had to remember, the most people that have brought me money are males. I would say from the age 35 to 50. That has been the average, the most I made people coming to me. That's one persona, though. I got to think of more. So one persona is a male with a business that wants to partner with me, that is age 35, let's say 32 to 45, right? That's where one persona. I'll call that persona Mike. Make that easy, right? So Mike is the 32 to 45-year-old business owner. That's one target. Second target that I've made a lot of money with is project managers at agencies and brands. I say those tend to be white women age 26 to 40. So I'll call that Karen. Random white name, white woman name. So I got Mike and Karen, right? So woman. So I like to do 3 personas. So now I'm going to look for the persona of a person that I want. So these are 2 that kind of brought me money before. But my third persona is the aspirational audience. So I want to bring in people who are millennials that have ideas but don't know where to start. So I'm going to say, where do millennials start? Is it 20? Let's say 23, 22 to 30-ish. Let's say it's a 32. And let's say male or female. I guess for that one, I'm going to leave both, because I think that one could be a little bit wider range. I want you to say, all right, I am 28. I wish I could do my business, but I just don't know where to start. Then you find this crazy guy, Miguel Sanchez, on YouTube, and he starts educating you on the steps to take to do it, step-by-step booklet. All right. So now, how old are they? I told you that. So I got the 3 personas. I got Mike, Karen, and all right, I gotta pick a name. What's the name of someone? Tony. Let's say Tony, because that could be a male or a female. All right. So, what types of causes are they passionate about? Passionate about. So, for each persona is going to be different, right? So, for my Mike persona, which is a businessman, age 32 to 45, what they're passionate about is making money, right? And they're looking for how I can help them make more money. So, what I got to do is create content around how I can help them through technology make more money. So, and I'm literally doing that right now, right? I have a few business owners that finally are listening to me about all the stuff I've been telling them they needed to do. And now they were put in a position where they're like, damn, Miguel kind of did tell me this 3 years ago. Let me talk to Miguel about doing it right now. So that's helped me, right? So I need to find more of those. This one I'm not really dealing with as much right now. I kind of took my foot off that pedal with the Karens of the world, which are the project managers and agencies, because I know what happens in down economies. Agencies in-house most of their work. So as mass ideation, if I'm thinking, am I going to go try to sell an agency right now? Is that a good use of my time, knowing they've downsized, they've probably furloughed a bunch of people, they're not really working with a lot of vendors? So is that a good use of my time right now? But if I create content and they stumble upon it, hey, that's cool. So maybe I could create content around the projects that I've done in the past, the way I work with Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Pepsi, Coke, all these different brands, and maybe talk about those projects more, give the behind the scenes of how those projects went, and then of course link to the actual project. That could be content, right? So what are they passionate about? What is Karen passionate about? The project manager in an agency or brand, she's passionate about her career and making herself look better and do better in her job. So a lot of times the Karens of the world, they reach out to me because they see something cool I've done, or they've seen me speak on stage, and they say, I heard what you do is cool, I want to do that for my brand, or I have a project right now, can you do it for us? Sure. Or I reach out to them and I try to build a relationship. So what content can allow you to do is funny, because I always remember somebody said it. Was it Wendy Williams? I think she said, you're a friend in my head. So she would talk to celebrities and say, you're a friend in my head. What she means by that is she's seen them so much, and she's invested so much in them that she believes in her head they're friends. So that's what content allows you to do. You create enough content, people watch your video enough, you become their friend in a way. You don't know them, but they feel the same way they feel about a friend about you if they see you. That's why you need to create content where you're on the screen. And trust me, it takes a while. It took me a long time before I was this comfortable. I'm super comfortable now, and I'm not even that comfortable, but I'm light years more comfortable than I was before I started all this on camera. I would literally get asked to do stuff on camera, and I'd be like, couldn't remember my lines. I still can't remember lines. I would freeze. And this was like news organizations coming to me and wanting me to talk on, and I'm like, oh fuck. So now by doing this, I feel like I got better on stage. I got better on everything. So okay, the third was what types of causes are they passionate about? So if I had to think about the male, the Mike persona, I would say they're traditionally looking to give back to the business community that helped them, right? Because if you are a businessman that made it and you're doing well, you know how hard it was, so you want to give back to that. If you're Karen and you are in an agency or a brand and you more, if I think about all the Karens I've dealt with, they are normally people who care about the world. They're not like, they're very different from the businessman, right? They more care about how things can be better for humanity. If I have to like typecast that type of person, because I get cool with them, right? I speak to them about life and stuff as we're working on projects. And for what I've seen is they just tend to be down to earth people who care, let's say, care about animals, care about the planet, um, you know, care about politics that help people. I can say that's things they're passionate about. And then the millennial, this one I struggle with, even though my brother's a millennial. I would say they're more passionate about being happy, right? I think the millennial audience is interested in what they can do so they can be happy. Of course, making money is a thing, but in the millennial age group, they've been through so much financial trauma by what the world has put them in, that money is not as at the forefront of their passions. And that's a good thing. That's actually awesome. So I would say maybe about being happy. Maybe I could create content around how you can be happy as you build your business, which is hard. It's hard. Like you've seen in the past, like the past year or few years, a lot of entrepreneurs committing suicide, and that there's a mental thing that happens with entrepreneurship where you feel very lonely, because you kind of are. When you're the top person in a company, it's really hard for you to feel like anybody can understand what you're going through. So maybe that's a good see. So by doing this, I'm giving myself content, mental health for entrepreneurs. That's a good pillar of content for me. What are they currently struggling with? That's the fourth question. So if I take the three personas, my first persona, Mike, he's currently struggling with the effects of COVID on his businesses, on not fully embracing technology like he should have, and taking advantage of that now. So that's Mike. Karen, she's probably struggling with worrying about her job, because anyone in an agency right now, I've worked at agencies, I've worked for agencies. During bad economies, advertising suffers first. They get the first knockout, then they come back first, though. So right now, if you're in an agency, you're worried about your job. You're worried about doing a good job with the few projects you do have, so if anything happens, they don't get rid of you. So that's one worry on Karen. On millennials, on Tony, I think they worry about the future. Like, what will their future look like because of COVID? And in general, the financial situation for a millennial was bad before COVID. How bad will it be after COVID? So this is partly why I'm creating this. I believe everybody just needs to think like an entrepreneur right now. There's definitely an idea in your head or close to you in proximity that you can look at and say, if I did that, I could make some money. And the YouTube environment is a perfect place to figure that out on camera. Don't be worried about your ideas being stolen. People don't want to work. Most people are not going to do the work it takes to make an idea happen. Even just creating the process of talking on camera about your idea, even if you don't put it out. So I've done that. Right now, we're working on an app project. We fundraised in the pandemic to make this app. And I'm documenting the whole process. We're talking when we have meetings. We're recording them on Zoom, recording. I'm talking to a camera about what's going on. Not as much as I need to, but sometimes I'm not doing it live. I'm keeping it behind the scenes because the group doesn't want this idea to be public yet. It will be soon though. And when it is, I'll edit something up with those videos and have behind the scenes of when we were making this idea in a pandemic. That's going to be historical content. And I think right now, all of us, whether we're in business or not, we are in a time capsule moment where if you had video, can you imagine watching video of people in the Spanish flu 100 years ago right now? Wouldn't that be cool as hell? Like, I think, somebody's asking to be on or something. Go live with Adriana. I don't know if you're still here, Adriana. Let me know if you're still here. If you're still here, I'll do it. I've never done it, so just let me know if you're still here. So I believe as this time capsule, you should be creating content where you're looking into a camera and talking about what's happening. I guarantee you're going to wish you could be looking back at this time in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So that's not as much about business, but it could be. If your business right now is pivoting, like I'm talking about mine with mass ideation, how am I pivoting? With mass ideation, I'm thinking about how I take this into the future and be able to draw in the best people I can. So I have ideas. I'm going to create videos around it. I'm going to go into the camera and I'm going to use this 11 o'clock hour to force myself to do it. So one trick I did was I said, I'm going on live every day at 11 o'clock, every weekday at 11 o'clock. And I'm either going to interview a guest, network with somebody, or talk about what I'm doing. Today, I'm talking about my YouTube class. So, fifth question, what type of content are they looking for online? All right, so if I think about Mike is looking at how to make sure he embraces technology more. How can he use technology better for his businesses? So that's one. Two, if I look at Karen, I don't know if Karen is looking for content about hiring vendors. That's not normally how they do things. They find you or they know you, they talk to other people about you, and then word of mouth is a huge thing in the advertising agency, in business, right? So I have 20 years of working with people and always treating them right, making sure everybody's happy. So I have that way of getting business. So maybe I can create content around showing that. Maybe I could start interviewing some of my past clients. Maybe that's a way. I don't know. I'm thinking about this right live, right? Let me see what else. What else kind of content I could create for Karen? Oh, I got a good one. What if I made content on how to choose a good vendor for a specific task? So for instance, we do augmented reality. We've been doing it for 10 years. Before anybody even knew what it was, we were doing it. So we have a lot of experience on how to talk to agencies and brands about doing augmented reality. Right now, augmented reality is going to be a big thing after COVID, I believe. So what if I make content that says how to choose an AR, VR vendor, right? So that's content right now. I can create. For Karen, for the millennial, for Tony, maybe what I can create is content around, again, right now, one of the best times in history to make an idea, right? So content around how to take an idea and make it a reality. I believe that type of content will draw in millennials and help them make their ideas possible. All right. And on the next page of my course, how does your YouTube channel help your target audience? For Mike, it will educate him on how to use technology better, to streamline his business more so it's more profitable and it's more productive in times like this, because who knows when this could happen again, right? So that's how it helps Mike. Karen, how it helps Karen is it helps her do her job better. It helps her, because that happens to me a lot of times. That's why a lot of agencies pick me, actually, because I'm not trying to make the sale. I'm trying to educate the person more than the other vendor is. So if I'm a vendor, you reach out to me and you're like, hey, Miguel, we're looking for a website. We heard about you. How can you help us? And I'm asking you questions. I'm basically giving you all the options, whether you use me or not. Or you call another vendor and they're like, well, we do X, Y, Z, and that's all we do. If you're willing to do it, this is how we work. More of the time, that's how I beat out bigger companies, because they understand that I don't even care if you hire me, to be honest. I'm all right. But if you hire me, it's because you know I got your back. I'm trying to figure out what's best for you, right? So that's how I come at the conversation. I come at the conversation like, okay, what are you trying to do? All right, there might be a cheaper way for you to do this, actually. You may not even want to hire me. You can go do this, this, and that. Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to go look into it. Hey, Miguel, call me back. Hey, Miguel, you know what? I actually did look into it. And you know what? It doesn't work because X, Y, or Z. What else you got? all right, so if you can't do that, I think you should do this. But there you might need me. You might not need me as much as you thought you needed me, but you will need someone like me at least. So that conversation is much different than, hey, either work with me the way I work or I can't work with you. So for Karen, I got to figure out how to make content around making their lives easier as they need to finish their projects. Choose the right vendor and get their projects done on time and on budget. So maybe I can create content around that. For Tony, I believe it'll help inspire the millennial audience to use this as an opportunity and create their ideas. Like if I say, by coming across my channel, you were motivated to make an idea that ends up making you even $10,000 a year. That's a win for me, because that means now you got a side hustle that's putting $10,000 more in your pocket. So that's how I believe I will create content for this target audience, for those target audiences. What are the reasons someone should watch your channel? I guess that's pretty similar. Because they don't know something that I know, and they're willing to learn it from me. That's why I watch YouTube channels. Like I got into this YouTube course because I watched a YouTube video of a guy that was explaining how to grow his YouTube. And I was like, look, I want to get deeper into that. So I'm going into his class. It was a free class. Then there was this extra piece that you pay $27 for. I paid the $27. And I feel like the value is already given to me. I'm good. And I'm taking the class. So what are the reasons to watch your YouTube channel? So if you're doing it for business, you can't say to make sales. You got to give the other person value, right? If I am creating a channel to get you to buy from me, if I use the mass ideation as an example, you should be watching it to be educated on what's possible. That's what I think I would do. I would make content. The reason they would be watching my channel is to understand what's possible. And that's actually for both mass ideation and me as a personal brand. You want to understand what's possible. So I get this a lot, actually, because I show crazy technologies on my Instagram and stuff. And people are like, I didn't even know that was possible. Because I'm always talking to people in the industry like, you should have came up with this idea. And they'll be like, I didn't even know it was possible. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to start showing you what's possible. So now you can't say that. You know what's possible, and you see an opportunity, and I'm telling you how to do it. So now what's the excuse, right? For YouTube, I got to figure out how to create videos that do that. So that's going to take some more time. This is the first time I do this. So I think that's a good answer for all three, though. For Mike, which is the male business owner. For Karen, which is the woman project manager. For Tony, who's the male or female millennial. If they understand what's possible and they understand how to make their ideas possible, that's, I think, a good reason to watch my YouTube channel. What type of content will you create on your channel? All right, that's tough. So what you don't see is there's a bunch of PDFs that I'm looking at, and they give a lot of ways of creating different types of content. So one good piece of content they talk about is creating versus content. So like right now, I have an iPhone hooked up to this big thing that holds it up so it stays still as I talk. I have a computer, I have lights, I have cameras, I have all kind of stuff that I've been trying out to figure out what the best scenario is to make this content. I could create content around all that, because anybody who's going to start making videos, they're going to need this content. So, and I know there's probably millions of people making the content, but they don't know me. They haven't seen me. So if you see me, you may be more willing to watch that video. You're right. So I'm going to say hardware, tech review. That's pretty good. Tech review. So there's tech review, maybe strategy, because I believe that's a huge thing that on the business side for like a Mike and a Karen and even the Tony. Strategy is something that is so important, but nobody wants to pay for. It's really hard to get a client to pay for strategy, but strategy is like thinking the idea through in a back and forth. So that takes time, and people don't want to pay for it. So a lot of times it doesn't happen. So what I can do is maybe create content around strategy that allows people to come up with their idea and flesh out the strategy part before they speak to me, a developer, whoever. Because I think they don't want to do that. They don't want to pay for it anyway. But what it might do is it might start educating them on the right way to do it. And they start realizing, shit, I really should pay for this. This is one of the most important parts of my idea. And I don't want to pay for it. And I don't know how to do it. So I need to. So, all right, I'm going to create strategy content, tech reviews, maybe how-to videos on how to do stuff. So like I said, you don't know how to do strategy, but maybe if I showed you the breakdown of how to do it, you watch that. So I got how-to, tech review, how-to, what else? Maybe I have to come back to that, which we're coming up on the end of the hour anyway. Is there any questions anybody has that I can answer while I'm here and I'm online? If not, DM me, whatever, put it in the comments, whatever. All right, so I got to think more on the fifth one. What is your content promise to your audience? That's a good one. I promise to post content on my YouTube channel X times per week. I promise to go live on my channel X times per week. Okay, so I'm going 5 times a week on my YouTube channel live. Content, I kind of am using this as the content, but I should be creating other videos on top of this. Mad work. I am kind of doing it, but let's say I would say 1 time per week. Content, 5 times per week live. So the next part of this page, which I'm not going to finish this whole thing. We're gonna have to, the next hour I do this, I'll get deeper into it. Whoa. What are the top 15 questions your target audience has? That's going to take some market research. So right there, if you have any questions as a person, if you have an idea, you want to start a business, you want to figure out another revenue stream, what are your questions? So if you have them, hit me up, please. I think 2 minutes left. I think I'm just going to start ending it. So what I tried to do here with this YouTube video, this video about YouTube, is start giving you the breakdown of what you got to think about to create your own. I honestly believe it's more work, but I do believe you should be creating a personal and a business one. I believe it's easier to grow a personal brand than a business brand. I did it opposite. Mass Ideation has a bigger audience everywhere than I do. Because again, I was behind the scenes. I was hiding myself. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't do that. I would have did it the opposite way. So if you're watching this, I hope you do it the opposite way. If you look at the major players right now, they all did it the opposite way. If you look at the brands, of course, that's the old school model, like the Chanel's, the Louis Vuittons. You may not be able to picture the person who created that company, but they didn't. It was a family business for generations. So the Chanel, Louis Vuitton, those are last names. It's not like Pepsi. So it's different. So I just highly suggest you today. Here's what my final thing. If you could today, you don't got to post it. Put yourself in front of a camera and talk for 2 minutes about what you do. Don't post it. If you want to send it to me, that would be cool. I would love to give you feedback on it. I did this like 20, 30, 40, 50 times before I posted anything. I hated every fucking one of them. I still hate these videos. I hate the way they look. I hate the way I sound. But I don't give a fuck now. That's the awesome part. Like, I don't care. So I'm able to create them. And by creating them, I'm getting more and more great feedback. Everybody's reaching out like, yo, I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. Keep it up. And I think everyone that has a business needs to be comfortable on camera, because if you ever going to try to sell your business, you are in front of a person talking. So if you're not willing to be in front of as many human beings as possible to sell your business, you might not be an entrepreneur. At the end of the day, you might be a partner of an entrepreneur. Let the entrepreneur do what they do, you could do what you do. It might be better to join a team than create a team. But I think anybody could do it. I just think we psych ourselves out and end up not doing it because of that. But you could do it. Hopefully you do it. Thank you for watching. I look forward to creating more content tomorrow. I think I got a guest. If not, I'll be doing this again. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks.